Well, I'm the offensive coordinator at Texas Tech, and I also coach the quarterbacks. And the biggest thing the most important thing for me when I'm looking for a quarterback is, number one, they got to be a great human being, because they're the leader, they're in charge, and they got to have great leadership skills. They need to be detail-oriented people like myself, and they got to be able to make plays. Well, my coaching style stems from my love of the game. I have a passion for the game. I love it. But it's still a game. You know, it's my career profession, but it's still a game, and I think you got to treat it as that. My style is I'm a very detail-oriented person. One of our, there's signs all over our football building that says "attention to detail," and that stems from my belief that you've got to be really good at details and really good at fundamentals. I like to kid around with our players. I think it's very important that they see a lighter side of you. The other thing is, I think you got to be positive. You got to be positive. You can correct actions. You can correct the action if they make a mistake. You can correct that action, but you don't need to be negative towards people, and that's really what I try to get across. The number one thing I love is winning. That's what drives me. That's why I'm in this business, is to win. There's nothing better than when you're winning, when you're ahead in a game, and the time's getting ready to run down, and you know that all the time and the effort that you've put into that week or that season to feel that moment of accomplishment, that you've done something, and or anytime you see a big play that pays off, and you can feel that sense of what we've worked on, what we've done. Here's the payoff. And I think the other thing that why am I in this, and what really gets me excited about my job on an everyday basis is just seeing a kid get better. Whether it's a quarterback that finally perfects his drop, or it's a receiver that finally runs the way you've been preaching. To finally see a kid get it, that's really special. That's really makes me feel like, hey, we're getting something done here. Well, I've had several influences in my life that really steered me into this career. My mom and dad, first and foremost, they raised me. Both of them are educators. My dad was a high school coach and then a principal. And my mother is an elementary school librarian. And growing up, I was around athletics, and I was around schools all my life. And 3 out of my 4 grandparents were teachers. One of my grandfathers was a very successful high school coach in Kentucky. Who won a state championship, and he ended up being a superintendent in high school. My grandfather that wasn't in education was a farmer, and I think I get some of my work ethic from there. And one of my uncles, my mom's brother, is a very successful high school basketball coach in Kentucky. And just being around education in general and being around coaches kind of pushed me toward that career. And seeing the passion that they had, the passion they had for young people, the passion they had for education, I think that really steered me to this career. I think it's a huge advantage that I was able to play college football. I'm not asking these players that here at Texas Tech, I'm not asking them to do anything that I haven't already done. I've had to be up for a 6 a.m. workout. I've had to go to study hall, 8 hours a week. I've had to go to weights every day. I've had to go through 2-hour practices. I've walked in their shoes, and I think it's a huge benefit that I'm not that old. 10 years ago I was going through the same routine that they're going through, and I know how it feels. I know when they're tired. I understand it. I feel like I've got a good pulse on it when we need to press on them to give more, and when we need to kind of back off of them. But if you don't do that, I think it's hard. I think it's hard to put yourself in their shoes. And because I played football, and because it wasn't that long ago, that I think it's big that I can relate to that. Well, we're here to win championships. I wouldn't have taken this job if I didn't think that Texas Tech could win the Big 12 South, or win a Big 12 championship, or win the national championship. Our goal as a coach staff is to put us in position to do that every year, and that's not something that we're trying to shy away from. There's pressure to win championships, but You know, that's why I'm in this profession. I know how to win championships. We've won championships in the past at the places I've been, and our plan here is at Texas Tech to win championships.